The manufacture of building materials accounts for more than 10% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions, which is driving conversations in the industry around reduced upfront embodied carbon in buildings and infrastructure. When posed with this challenge, many wonder if the industry is ready to reduce these emissions. Are lower carbon products available, and are industry skills up to scratch? In 2024, MECLA decided to find out the answer to this question. In partnership with Infrastructure New South Wales, we asked government agencies, head contractors, designers, experts and suppliers across Australia about their readiness to reduce upfront embodied carbon in construction and infrastructure. And here's what we discovered. For a start, industry is more confident and experienced in delivering reduced upfront carbon outcomes than many expected. Over half of industry surveyed feel confident or very confident in this area, with suppliers the most confident at 84%. Almost half, 47%, have good or extensive levels of knowledge. And when it comes to experience delivering against embodied carbon reduction targets, industry is slightly ahead of government, with over a third having worked on projects considering or targeting low carbon outcomes. So surprisingly, the main barriers to progress were not about confidence, skills or experience, but more about perceptions of cost, lack of government project demand, and issues around standards and specifications, as we can see in the top right of the infographic. We also learnt that participants perceive industry as a lot more confident about reducing embodied carbon than they perceive government agencies to be, as illustrated in the bottom left of the infographic, where over 50% of industry come across as confident or very confident versus only 21% of government agencies. This suggests government are on a steeper learning curve in this space than industry. In fact, suppliers whom many government agencies have worried may be least ready in industry to reduce embodied carbon instead showed mature levels of readiness, with over 3/4 of suppliers surveyed citing research, measurement and actions already underway, and more than half of their product lines with low embodied carbon options, as highlighted in the middle bottom of the infographic. The last core finding highlighted on this page addressed the question of regional difference. Is readiness greater in the cities than the regions? The survey suggests probably not. The difference seemed to be scale of organisation rather than location. In the bottom right of the infographic, we learnt that organisations big enough to operate in both regional and metropolitan locations were the most confident. And while experience is greater in the cities, almost a third of organisations in regions have experience delivering lower carbon outcomes. So, the 281 participants in the survey across industry and government on the whole express a reasonable level of confidence, knowledge and experience in reducing upfront embodied carbon. And while there's room for these levels to improve, what is suggested is that the biggest barriers lie in demand, standards and cost perceptions. MECLA is keen to repeat this survey to see how readiness is trending. If you're interested to sponsor the next readiness survey, please get in touch.